Okay, we're live.
We are live. So, hey guys, this is Prince and Dan, and we are from Ledger CS. And we are back to answer all your questions live that you might have about Ledger or NFTs or crypto in general. We are here for next of it and ask your questions live. And we'll also, even if you are not getting any response on any cases that you already have opened up with us, and then you can drop the case number, and then we can also escalate them to the and notify the agent in charge of your case, basically.
And before we start, maybe we can say something about scams and the latest in scam land.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, as you know, Ledger devices are unhackable, of course, but you still have to protect your keys by yourself since you are this is how self-custody works. So please do not share your 24-word seed phrase with anyone. Anyone asking for it is not from our team. We already had seen a few cases on social media where scammers are pretending to impersonate as Ledger support, and then they're asking you for a 24-word seed phrase or sending you some fishy links to some fake Ledger Live apps. So please do not download and install from any link. Please go to our website and download the original Legit app from the website. And what else? Yeah, guys. So
don't share your 24-word recovery phrase.
Don't share 24-word seed phrase. Not interact with any scam NFTs, because there are a lot of scam NFTs that are going to be airdropped to you. And the scammer is just like trying to pollute your transaction history, and then you might, if you're trying to copy and paste the addresses, then please do not do that. Always go through the receive flow and generate your address in Ledger Live, and do not fall for any dusting attacks, because if you get free amount of tokens, that usually happens on XRP and XLM. You get some XRP in your address, and then you try to open the link, and then there is a memo field, and then you can ask for your 24-word seed phrase. So please do not share your 24-word seed phrase anywhere. It should only go on your Ledger device. That's it.
Yeah, cool. And so as usual, at the beginning of every single stream, please also give us a little feedback in the comments if you can hear us properly, if the sound is good, the image is good. We just want to make sure that you guys can hear us properly before we continue. But that being said, we can already go down the question list. But please leave us a little comments if you can hear us okay.
So the first question is from Steve Sniper World. My question is, why don't you supply and deliver your products to Philippines? So actually, it's not because we don't want to. It's just that some countries have their own regulations regarding crypto and crypto wallets. And for example, for now, Philippines has some sanctions, international sanctions against crypto. So that is why we are not unable to deliver it to Philippines. But if you can go outside of your country, like nearby country where it's already allowed, you can buy it from a nearest reseller, and then that way you can still get your Ledger device to your country. So, but of course, we cannot ship it directly, but then you can buy it from the third party.
Fair enough.
Here's the second question. The lifespan of my Nano S seems to be around 2 to 3 years. Is this because they need to be connected up regularly? As I sure clients would like to know this.
So the lifespan seems to be 2 to 3 years for the Nano S. That's not a lot. I mean, personally, I've used the Nano S in the past, and my Nano S lasted for 7 years before it gave up and the screen became dim. I think it really depends on how you store your Nano S and how much you use it as well. So, typically you want to make sure that when it's not constantly powered on your computer, connected to your computer, because that will damage the screen. And also try not to store it in a place that's humid, right? Try to store it in a dry place, like just the same way you store a phone, for example. You would take care of a phone. Try to think of your Ledger device the same way, right? But we do have a warranty, so typically, like if your device dies within 2 years after you receive it, then typically you can let us know. You open a ticket, and then we can replace the device with a new one. But yeah, after that, just apply best practices when it comes to storing. I don't know if you have any tips.
Yes. So same thing. I'd just like to add that maybe just keep updating your firmware regularly, and make sure to have everything updated in general, because if you have everything updated, then you will be able to smoothly manage your assets without any bugs or any error. Of course, Nano S is now an old device, so it could be possible that you might be running into some trouble issues. Like, they will reach out to us, and then we'll still come up with alternatives that will help you in future. And then you can also upgrade to Nano S Plus, because I think it's a better device, and we also have some new colors that are now available on our website, so you can definitely check them out. But security wise, I don't think there's going to be any issue. As long as you have your 24-word seed phrase secured with you, that is all that matters in the end. You can, if the Nano S breaks after a couple of years, then you can still retrieve the access by entering the 24 words on a new Ledger device and managing your funds again.
Yeah, because the device is not as important as the recovery phrase, right? Yeah.
You can still like lose the device, but as long as you have to a 24-word seed phrase, you can get access to your accounts. But if you don't have access to your 24-word seed phrase, then you are
in trouble.
In trouble for
yeah,
sure.
you should definitely get your funds out and then reset the device or get a new device, create a new recovery phrase, and just again, the recovery phrase is the most important. The device can be changed, but the recovery phrase is the private keys, and so yeah, you really need to take care of the recovery phrase. By the way, we do sell on the Ledger store those metal seed storage. There's 3 different options. I personally think the Crypto Zeus is pretty good because it's the most robust, but it's also the most expensive. So depends on your budget, but it's a good idea to not just have the seed backed up, the recovery phrase backed up on the card that comes in the box, because that card, I mean, it can go up in flame pretty easily. So, I mean, there's a lot of questions in the chat. I think we can move on.
So next is from Johnny Sevenfold. Good morning from California. When will my seed phrase recovery be in effect? Or will this be optional? I noticed that there was an update of Ledger to 2.2.2.
Okay, I can take that one. So recover service is still going on, but it's not live right now. Okay, and those firmware updates, so the firmware updates on your Ledger Nano X, it's just giving your device the optional ability to use recover, but it doesn't mean that updating your firmware will activate recover, right? So recover, again, when it launches, and it's not currently launched, but when the service is launched, then you will still need to go through a very obvious onboarding process that it's not the kind of thing you can accidentally activate by mistake, right? So if you don't like it, don't use it. If you do like it and you think it's interesting, because some people might be interested in the service as well, then go through the onboarding, and just activate recover. But again, updating the firmware will not automatically activate recover. That's, I think, one misconception that's still going around the internet.
Yeah. You have to go through a KYC and you'll have to create an account, and it's going to be a long 3-4 step process. So once it's going to be ready for the release, we'll come up with more information regarding this. Next is from Chris. Creation is metal. Why do fractions of some coins show up in my wallet on Ledger Live as received? So you have to be a little bit more specific. Creation in metal, that which assets are you referring to? It's possible that there might be a synchronization issue that you might be facing in Ledger Live. So try to go to settings, help, and then try to clear the cache, and then see if you can see your funds, missing tokens there. And if not, then we can investigate further if you can share the transaction ID by opening a ticket with us if you want to do that.
It could also be like address poisoning attack, right? If it's just like a very small amount that's being sent to your account, especially if it's on like Polygon or Tron, right?
Exactly. Or XRP or XLM.
Or XRP. In this case, it's just scammers. They sample a very large amount of public addresses because everything is public, and then they will send tokens to all these addresses. And what they hope is that you will by mistake pick their address in your transaction history and send them coins by mistake. And we've seen that happening quite a lot, right? People falling for it.
Yep. Next is Eric. Sound is good. Thank you for confirming that. Next is Kanchan. When Ledger stacks available in stock? So for now, right now, we're working on getting the devices which are already being pre-ordered. And then once they are being shipped out, I think the next batch will be coming soon. So for now, we're just waiting for the first batch to being shipped out, and then we'll get back to the users once the devices are ready to be shipped. So yeah, it should be soon, but let's see. We all are working very hard on it, so it should be coming very soon.
No ETA, guys. Yeah.
Next is Johnny Sevenfold. Sound is good. Thanks, Johnny. Next is Eric. Good morning. I'm trying to add a BTC to my ledger, which already exists, but I get the message the server could not handle the request. Please try again and contact Ledger support.
That sounds like a sync issue with Ledger Live, I think.
Yeah, and it's possible then if you have a lot of UTXOs in your existing account, then it might be due to that as well. But you can do one thing. You can, if you want to urgently access your Bitcoin account, then you can connect it to Electrum app and with your ledger, and then access and manage your funds. And at the same time, reach out to us, open up a live chat or email support ticket, and let us know the Bitcoin app version, your Ledger Live version. If it's not updated to the latest version, then also you might be running into this error. So the latest version is 2.64.2, and then you can go to settings and go to about, where you can see the version number of your Ledger Live. So make sure to check that. If it's not latest, then update it. But it's a normal issue. It's just there's some sync issue between the blockchain and the Ledger Live, so you can definitely use work around. But if you need some more help, then reach out to us, and then we can help you step by step.
So the funds are still safe.
Funds are still safe, and it's just that there might be multiple there could be one of the issues that you just described, and then because of that you're not able to add it. But then you reach out to us. There is always a workaround. Then we can offer to you.
There's always a workaround. The coins are always safe unless you share your 24 recovery phrase, of course.
Next is Lynn Casey with an interesting question. Is Ledger Nano X safe to travel throughout airport needs? And do we need to declare something if they ask what to do?
I can share my experience. I think the ledger itself is safe to travel with. Like, I have traveled in cross borders and airport security with the ledger. Now, that being said, I would not travel. If you can avoid it, do not travel with your recovery phrase, because there are some countries where customs will actually go through your bag. You know, they will pick you off the line. They'll go through your bag and then they'll start looking into your bags and stuff. And if they find your recovery phrase and they start taking a picture of it, they do something malicious because you don't know what they're going to do with it. Maybe they know what it is, maybe they don't know, then you might get in trouble. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Yeah, even I have traveled to the like foreign countries with my device, but I think they all think it's just a pen drive, so we don't have to worry about that. But just make sure to not carry your 24-word seed phrase, as Dan said, because that is what is important, and that is what your device is trying to protect and keep offline.
Especially if you have a metal seat storage, I would say, because those might actually trigger airport security, or like be visible in X-rays. But if you have to carry your phrase with you, like you're permanently moving to a different country, and you have the phrase as a card, then you can leave that into a book or something like that you carry in your hand luggage. Like, maybe that's a good option. But if you have a metal seat, that it might definitely trigger security. So yeah, you might want to be careful. Or like the crypto steel that looks it looks a little more suspicious than, it looks like a tube.
Yeah, so, maybe you can go for crypto with Zeus, I guess, because it's just like a card, I guess. But then of course not use the metal seat storage solution inside an airport. But yeah, you can freely carry your device, it's not a problem. Next is One Eye Willy. If PYUSD is ever deposited into Ledger one day, can PayPal freeze the Ledger wallet address to stop PYUSD from being sent out?
So actually, yeah, I think there was a discussion on Twitter about PayPal PUSD, and the truth is, I think the answer is yes, but it's not because of Ledger. It's just the way that PayPal controls the smart contract that issues PUSD, PayPal USD, right? So if they want to freeze an address, then they can do it, right? Because they have the private keys to that smart contract, and there's nothing we can do at Ledger to prevent it. It's the same thing, by the way, with like a lot of stablecoins, right? So Tether USDT, for example, they've been known to freeze addresses, especially when Tether was involved into a hack or something like that. So they've frozen accounts in the past. Same thing for USDC. Same thing for most stablecoins and most tokens in general, right? And there is nothing you can do to prevent that. It's just built into the smart contract.
Okay, next is from Day. Hi, his Ledger safe. Only asking. I have seen a video on Facebook saying she got hacked. I guess that might be the XRP.
The XRP. Yeah, so we've seen the video, right? In those situations, so I don't know what you think, but I think she was very emotional when she recorded the video. And we've seen a lot of similar cases with people thinking that they never shared the recovery phrase, but once you start asking questions, you always find out that one way or another, they've been sharing the 24-word recovery phrase. So maybe she doesn't remember, but way back when she first set up her device, maybe she took a picture of the recovery phrase, maybe she typed it somewhere. And so, that's our job usually to reach out to understand what happened. And so my strong suspicion is like, this is exactly what happened. She shared a recovery phrase, or there was a phishing scam. She fell for it. Maybe she typed a recovery phrase into an app. That's one possibility, probably the most likely explanation. By the way, one of our team is in contact with her, so we're active on the case. But if you're an XRP user, you don't have to worry about. Again, guys, just don't share your 24 recovery phrase. That's how you get scammed, right?
Yep. And she could have also got, as she got it from a third-party dealer, it's possible that she got it on a device that was already been set up.
Right.
And then she didn't know, and then there was 24 words already inside the box, and then she thought that's how it works.
Right.
And that could be a possibility that she might have got a pre-seeded device, and then once the scammer saw all the funds are into the account, and then just was waiting for the right time to scam it, basically.
So the scammer had the set up the device, had the recovery phrase, repackaged the device,
and send it. It could be a possibility. Yes.
Could be, yeah. So those are the most likely explanations why she got hacked. Because the device is super safe, right? And again, like unless what you described happened, which is possible, they call supply chain attacks, and that's what we tell you guys, like to observe like best practices when you get a device, whether you get it from a third party or also from Ledger, but just always verify that when you set up the device for the first time, it shows you the welcome screen. If you set up your device for the first time and you get your device out of the box, right, and on the device you see this followed by the pin screen, that would be a red flag, right?
Yep, that means like the device is already being set up, and then someone already knows the seed phrase that is being set inside the device, and they're just waiting for the right moment for the funds to accumulate, and then you can just drain it at one shot.
Okay. So yeah,
basically set up your own pin and set up your own 24-word seed phrase, guys, and do not share it with anyone, basically. Yeah. And we are also working with the lady to investigate what.
We're taking care of. We'll get to the bottom of this, but again, it's probably, unfortunately, it's a phishing. I would suspect it's a phishing scam.
Okay, next is EOS for the games. Hi Ledger, any date on Ledger stacks? I thought it was launched in March. So yeah, EOS, we already answered the question. Is like we're working on getting the device shipped as soon as possible, and we're gonna be sending you an email once the device is ready to be shipped at the email that was used to place the order. And we know we are running quite delayed right now, but of course, if we want to give you the best device that as you guys have seen until now in crypto ecosystem, and then to make the best, I think we need some more time, and then that's what we are trying to get. And then we're gonna ship it, and then we're gonna send you an email, so you guys will get your stacks. But like even we are waiting for our stacks, so we all are in the same boat, guys.
We do, yeah.
Next is Jay. Yeah, she admitted she bought it from third party. Yes, that she did say on our video.
Yeah.
Next is Chuck Kelly. I'm a pre-order both cash and NFT. Still have not received any of my stacks. Yes, because stacks has not been shipped yet, either with the people who bought it with the cash or via website, or they minted it via NFTs. Yes, we're working on shipping it soon. So like we're working on like getting it ready for shipping soon, and then we'll send you an email once it is there, Chuck. So don't worry. Once the device is being shipped, you will get an email notification on your email address. Please do not fall for any scam NFTs, guys, because we have seen 10,000 scam stacks NFTs giveaway have been airdropped to 10,000 users. So please do not interact with any stacks giveaway. There's no giveaway happening right now, and anyone who's trying to send you this NFTs is a scammer and trying to get your 24-word seed phrase, basically. Next is creation is mental. Yes, that is what happened with XRP and HBAR with very small fractions. Is there a way to prevent this?
Dusting attacks,
yep.
Yeah.
So it's not, they cannot prevent it basically, because your addresses are like public, the blockchain addresses are public, and then everyone can see it, and then they don't know actually that you are the holder of the address. They just select like 15 to 20 addresses, or maybe 100 addresses.
More,
100 addresses just at the same time, and then just send small fractions of HBAR or XRP, for example, just to poison your transaction history. And then to just be safe, do not keep the free XRP and HBAR, and just do not interact with the transaction in any way.
Yeah, maybe we can show like on the screen like what exactly happens when you get. So here's the screen, right? And if I go to Ledger Live, here's how the scam works. Like for example, I go into my Polygon account, and let's say I'm targeted by those scams. I'm gonna get very small transactions, right, in my account. Like this one. Let's pretend this is like a dust transaction, and so the scammer sends you a little bit of coin, right? And so what they hope is that you would just by habit, right? You would go into your latest operations to fetch an address you
already interacted with.
Yeah, exactly. And then you would just take that address and copy it, and instead of sending to that address that's familiar to you, you would send it to the scammer. That's how the scam works, basically.
And the address is like very similar to your address, so that way like only few letters and characters will be different. The first and the last will almost look same. So always verify the address on the screen. That is what we say every time to the users, and do not copy and paste from the Ledger Live.
So you use those buttons, right? Like receive, like send and receive, like only from here. Don't copy paste from the transaction history. It's just too dangerous, especially if you're gonna send like a big amount of crypto.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of questions. Thank you guys for all the questions. We appreciate.
Okay. Yes. Crypto Bat Fox. My case number is 1233981. Please help me locate my HBAR. So we'll do one thing. We'll note it down right now. crypto, and then once we finish the session, we'll either if someone is handling the case, we'll notify the agent, and if not, then someone from our social team will pick it up and reply to your case as soon as possible. Don't worry, so we'll help you. Next is Mandeep Sandhu. I didn't receive my stacks when delivered in India. So Mandeep, we are working on, as I told earlier, we're working on getting the device ready. And once it's ready for shipping, we'll send you an email at the email address you used to register for the order. Next is Leonardo. Hi Dan, do you have any news about the question I asked yesterday? The one about Happy Buy Day and bank transfers.
So I haven't heard back. Maybe you know. So Leonardo was asking like, what if you buy during Happy Buy Day using a bank transfer, and it takes 2 days for the transfer to arrive, right? Can you still benefit
from the free?
Yeah. I would say yes, because it's recorded at the moment of transaction, but maybe it's possible that Happy Buy Day doesn't receive bank transfer. It's only credit card.
It's possible, yeah. Or maybe like Google Pay or Apple Pay, maybe.
Yeah.
But we can check it with our team and get back to you with PO. We have a AMA happening on Thursday as well from one of our team members, and then we will let him know about that, the response from our team. So you can ask him again on that, and we'll notify your name as well. So you can tune in on Thursday, and then we'll have an answer for you on this.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't get the answer sooner.
Next is Lynn Casey. How is it possible to add HBAR accounts to a mobile iOS? I can't. Is there a tutorial for iOS mobile? So Lynn, if you already have your account inside your Ledger Life desktop, then you can just do one thing. You can go to settings, and then you can go to Dan can show you.
I'll show.
So you can go to settings, and then you can go to accounts, and then you can go to export accounts, and then it will open a QR code if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you can just scan the QR code on with your phone, and it will add all your accounts from your Ledger Life desktop to your Ledger Life mobile. So you don't have to add it manually. And if you're getting any error message, then you can drop down in the chat, and then we can maybe investigate further for this. Okay. Next is Kashmir. Today I had a problem where it said -25 ... Okay, that must be the error message.
Yeah.
-25 was for which blockchain? I think for Bitcoin, I guess.
Yeah.
But Kashmir, if you can let us know which crypto asset and which Ledger Live app you're using, and so we can investigate further and give you a more accurate response towards this. Because there is an error, but I don't remember which blockchain exactly. So if you can let us know which crypto asset you are managing and getting this error, so we can check it out.
I remember one like that in Bitcoin, as you said. There was one similar in Binance as well, you remember, but it was a different number. It was like 32 something. So yeah, let us know which blockchain here.
Next is Piotr Lipinski. Are you considering splitting firmwares into recovery option and non-recovery, and prove that an open source roadmap?
So for the firmware thing, I don't think that's being considered for now to split the firmware. But when it comes to the open source roadmap, so the code, part of the code, so the answer is we are slowly open sourcing the recover code. Okay, and that's a process that takes some time because there is complications with it, but we are opening the recover code. So I think it was a few weeks back where the first part of the recover code to be open source was published, I think on GitHub, so you can go and check that out. And basically we want to keep open sourcing as much as we can, right? Just to make sure that the community trusts the product and that they understand that recover is safe. It's safe to have recover to update the firmware and things like that. And
considering split for having two different firmwares, I think it's not possible if you think on practical terms, and it's not going to make any difference. And if we have two different firmwares for 4 different devices, then we have to again keep them updating and then keep maintaining them. It's going to cost us a fortune basically, and it's not going to make any difference. The firmware is going to be the same as you know, and then the security model will not change.
Exactly.
So then if we have 4 devices, 4 new firmwares every time, and then releasing it, fixing the bugs on it, and then it's going to take a lot of time for us to maintain them basically. So feasibility is not what we see in having 2 different firmwares, and that's why it's going to have only one firmware for now, and which is going to be we already have published a white paper which explains the service in detail. So if you want to check it out, please go to our website and check it out. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We are here. We are transparent. We are here to answer any questions that you might have.
Sure.
And we are not hiding anything, and we are not trying to get anyone's crypto. There is no backdoor. There's no extraction of this extraction of seed phrase or anything happening. You can go and read the tech part of it and the white
Yeah.
paper, and then it will explain everything in detail. So you can definitely check it out.
There's even like blog posts on the ledger.com
Mhm.
websites. If you go to ledger.com at the top, there is a learn section, I think, and then there is you look into the blog, and there is 2 existing blog posts, and there is 4 more coming that explains like how Recover works. So don't worry, Recover is fine. Like I've updated my firmware. There is no issue with it.
Next is CryptoBat Fox. So help me find my HBAR transaction from Ledger to MX exchange transaction. It has been removed from my Ledger wallet but not appearing in my MXC. So if the transaction is successful, then you should do one thing. You should always first check your address on the Blockchain Explorer and see if the funds have gone to the correct account. And if it has gone to the correct account, then I think it is possible that the issues on the exchange side and not Ledger Live. And then you can reach out to their support team and with the transaction ID, and then they will definitely help you find your missing tokens. Because if it's sent successfully, then on our side there's only limited things that we can do and investigate for you, of course, we can do that, but we won't be able to have any extra access to it because the funds have already been sent to the different address, and blockchain transactions are not reversible. So best in this situation, of course, we have taken down your ticket number, and then we'll reply to you on the case. But the best option would be to go to the mixed exchange support and then ask them about the transaction ID, and then ask them like, where is my funds gone to. If the address is correct, make sure to check the address on the Explorer, and if you don't know how to find the Explorer, then you can just go to any coin, example CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and then just type the name of the coin, and then there will be an Explorer side. You will see there is an option, then they'll show you different Explorers. Take the transaction ID, paste it there, and then you can see if the transaction has gone successfully or not.
Yeah, and I think like exchanges, they require a memo as well when you send to an exchange. I mean, some of them do. So if you didn't include a memo when you send your HBAR, then the exchange is not able to like detect your transaction as well. They will not credit it. So that might be the reason why it's not being credited on the
exchange side.
The exchange side, yeah.
Next is Leonardo. I have an issue with Ledger Live Mobile on Android. I cannot see any balance, nor the total balance. It's always showing asterisk marks instead of the amount. So Leonardo, it's possible because of you have activated the discrete mode. So this is what discrete mode looks like. It will just hide all your balances. So you just have to find it and then disable it. And then once you do it, I think then you'll be good to go. But this is for desktop. You can find it same on mobile. You can just have to go on settings, and then it will be somewhere there as well. So don't worry, your funds are safe. It's just that they are hidden. They are just since if you are working on Ledger Live and there are multiple people around you and you don't want to see your funds and don't want to show it to anyone, that's why this feature has been put in place to be discreet. And just disable it, and then you will see your counter values, fiat values for your tokens. And
you're good. You just have to find the button in Ledger Live,
or at least prove that not opting in your service is unable to extract the seeds. So yes, we have released the newspaper. Piotr, we have released the white paper, and then it completely explains that there's no extraction of seed taking place in the back end. You can definitely go and check it. And if you have further more questions at particular point where you're stuck at, then you can come to us, and then we can help you in explaining the concept in detail.
Yeah.
Next is Piotr again. He's like, next, it will be visible upon source map that temporary passphrase is not stored on your device or anywhere else. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not stored. So recover doesn't affect the passphrase. So if you decide, and actually it's a good idea to have the passphrase. Like I think in my mind, passphrase plus recover is actually a very good security setup. Very beginner friendly as well. So if you have a passphrase, temporary or attached to pin, neither passphrase type will be shed via recover, right? So that's important. So even if someone finds a recovery phrase somehow, then as long as they don't know the passphrase, then they have no way of knowing the account.
And that way you just have to secure only one passphrase, because even if you lose 24-word seed phrase, I think like if you forget about it, you just need the passphrase and 24-word seed phrase to get access.
Passphrase is great, I think, because you only need to remember the passphrase, so don't make it too long or too short for that matter. And it's really like a very good layer of protection on top of a 24-word recovery phrase or recover setup, because as long as only you know the passphrase, then nobody can have access to those secret accounts. So yeah, tip-top passphrase, and we have documentation about passphrases on the Help Center. There's a link in the description video to the Help Center, so check it out.
Next is Rudy. There was a hack of Ledger. Is it still safe? Greetings from Belgium.
That's the XRP thing. There was no hack, to be clear. So that video went viral, but viral-ish, I would say. Like within crypto, it went viral. I think there was no hack. We we talked about it earlier, but the lady, either she fell victim of a phishing scam or she fell victim of a supply chain attack where someone intercepted the package, set up the device, repackaged the device, and then sent it to her because she bought from a third party.
Third party, yes.
Yeah.
Next is Jose. If my Ledger Nano S is not connected to my laptop when I open Ledger Live, will my funds be updated? So yes, you will, basically, because you don't just need to connect your Ledger device to the Ledger Live app to sign the transaction, like pressing both the buttons. And once you have done that, you can just wait for the transaction to go, and it will be picked up by the miners and on the blockchain, and it will be sent successfully. And if you're receiving it, same thing as well. Once you have confirmed the receiving address on your screen, you can detach it, go to the exchange, paste the destination address, get your funds, and then you don't have to connect your Ledger device. You don't have to keep it connected for the funds to be received or sent, basically. You just need to confirm the transaction and sign it with the device. That's it. After that, you can safely disconnect it. Next is Chuck Kelly. When are we going to get our stacks? So we already covered this question. So I'm just going to go fast. We are working on it. And soon we're going to be, once it's ready to ship, we're going to send you an email at the email that you used to place the order with. Next is Lynn Casey. My ledger recovery phrase is encrypted. My first word starts at sheet 7 and 24 word is number 6 on sheet. I am carrying with phrase. Okay, she's carrying with the phrase with her. But she has changed the number of the words.
Ooh.
But be careful, Lynn.
Be careful, yeah.
Because if you do not store your seed phrase in correct order as well, like if you see like the first word and we put it in the last, then you will not be able to access the same accounts again. So if you have like one recovery phrase with like correct order and then you've just used the second one with a different order, then it's okay. Then you don't have to worry. Or you can also do one thing. Maybe she can like divide the recovery phrase into like 3 sheets.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I know some people like doing this, but I think because now if you divide your phrase into 3 pieces, now you have to secure 3 different pieces of important information.
I mean, just add a passphrase.
I think a passphrase is better.
Passphrase is best. Like and then you don't have to remember. Like you don't have to keep the 24 word seed phrase in that. Yeah. Like then you can. Of course, you need to recover it. You need to have that 24 word seed phrase. But if you have a passphrase account, then even if someone has access to your 24 word seed phrase, they will not be able to move the funds that are in your passphrase account because they're completely different accounts.
Yeah, maybe we can drop the passphrase article for you, Lynn, into the chat. But again, I'm not a fan of moving words around. Also because if you swap one word for another in the order, it's still very easy for a computer to find out, once they have all the words, it's very trivial for a computer to find the correct order. They just have to shuffle the words. So it's not really a very good security protection. And you introduce the risk of you forgetting which word you moved, and then, next thing you know, like the phrase is incorrect, and it's not great. As Prince said, just use a passphrase. It's much better.
Next is it's One Eye Willy. We already answered the question for PYUSD.
Oh, we've gone back, I think.
Yes, I think there was some question missed in the earlier, so I just went for it. We ordered Chuck Kelly's question. Yep. Creation is metal, yes. XRP, okay. Leonardo, I can't see the transaction I made buying Polkadot and Cosmos. They are in balance, but I can't see the growth of assets because anytime I check, it shows I just bought Polkadot and Cosmos.
I think the Polkadot. Oh yeah, go for it.
I think he's talking about like staking or.
I'm not sure actually. I can't see the transaction I made buying Polkadot and Cosmos. They are in the balance, so the balance is correct. But I can't see the growth of assets because anytime I check, it shows like I just bought. Yeah, maybe staking. Yeah, but you have to stake if you want to receive rewards. You have to stake first. And
you need to stake at least 405 dots to get rewards. And same thing for Cosmos. I think you can stake an amount of Cosmos and get rewards. If you're trying to see like your balance is not increasing, and even after sending your funds, then maybe there's a synchronization issue, and you can just clear the cache. Go to settings.
I'll show. Yeah.
Go to settings and go to help, and then go to clear the cache. And then it will clear the cache and force the Ledger Live app to synchronize with the blockchain again, and then you will see your funds, your account being updated. If that's the question, if you have got it correctly. So if it's staking, you need to stake your assets to get the rewards, and that's how your balance will keep on growing. I think Dan already has been staking some Cosmos and some.
We can. Here's the staking button.
Yeah, this is the stake button, and then you select the validator, and then you can just press next and select the amount of assets you want to stake, and then confirm the transaction on your Ledger device, and then you're good to go.
Yep.
Next is 77 with airport and custom topic. Shouldn't be there law exemption for seed phrase storage. They can't just take the metal storage away from you, right?
I think, like, of course they shouldn't, right? And they're not supposed to do it, but you never know when you're gonna come across like a scammy customs officer. And unfortunately, there are countries, it can happen anywhere in the world where you might find those types. And next thing you know, the person, they pretend to go through your bags, they see the recovery phrase, they know what it is, they don't tell you, right? You're not arouse suspicion, but they know exactly what it is, they find a way to take a picture of it. Next thing you know, they give it to one of their friends or something, and then you get scammed. And you don't know where it came from, but actually it's that scammy custom agent. So that's why, like, I wouldn't trust anyone with even the risk of finding a recovery phrase.
True. Next is Smile Ego. What about the backup seed phrase that you've been working on? So yeah, we're still working on the recover feature that we're gonna be launching, and we already released the blog post and white paper and technical documents around it. So please check out our website, and if you have any particular question regarding recover, then we are here to answer them live.
It's safe, guys. Okay, it's safe. Again, like it's not. First of all, it's not live. Okay, this feature. Second of all, the firmware update is just giving your device the optional ability to choose to onboard in the service if you want to. But if you don't like it, you can just completely ignore it and just keep using your device as before. The recovery service is only here if you want a optional backup to your seed. If you don't like it, just ignore the service and just carry on, and you'll be fine, right? I've updated my firmware, you have updated your firmware, everybody has updated the firmware here. We know that the feature is safe, and it doesn't change the security feature of your device, so don't worry, okay, it's fine.
Next is Lynn Casey. I have a question which is quite advanced. How is the recovery phrase generated offline? It uses signals or something, or as it's not connected to Nano X, as it's not connected online. How can this occur?
Yeah, I can answer that. So your device is you can think of your device as a very small calculator that's able to generate a random number, right? So when you set up your device for the first time, the device will create a very, very long completely random number that's unique for you, right? And this number is called a seed, right? That's what we call the seed, hence the word seed phrase. Then to generate your recovery phrase, the device goes from the seed, and then it maps the seed into words that are part of a fixed list of words called the BIP 39 words, and then it will show you the words that correspond to the seed. So you can think of the recovery phrase as a human readable version of that very long random number that the device generates for you and for you only when you set up the device. But of course, your device is not showing you the random number because that random number is huge, right? So you don't want to, back it up manually like 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. It's just crazy. So instead, we transform this number, or your device transform this number into a human readable version, which is the recovery phrase, right? And so the seed is used to generate your private keys, right, later. So that's why, like, if you give someone the recovery phrase, then they have access to your seed, then they can calculate your private keys, then they can steal your funds. So that's why we keep telling everyone again and again, it's kind of boring to repeat it, and we sound like broken records, but never share your 24 recovery phrase. Sorry, that was a long answer.
Next is One Eye Willie. There's double CC is like when stacks, so soon we're gonna send you an email once it's ready. Chuck Kelly is saying thank you. And the One Eye Willie is saying I've seen Ledger wallets at Best Buy in New York. I don't really feel comfortable buying it through the stores. So there is really One Eyed Willie. There is no risk in buying from Best Buy or buying from Amazon or buying from any website, any third-party reseller authorized website, or from Ledger Live or Ledger website, because all the devices are sent from us, like are shipped from our facility, and they're all legit. And there are still ways to verify the genuineness of your Ledger device, even if you purchase it from the third party like Best Buy. You can connect it to the Ledger Live app, and then also download the Ledger Live app from our website. Please do not download any scammy links, because that is still happening. We have people who use Bing, for example, and then they're redirected to a fake Ledger Live app. So make sure to use Chrome first of all, and then
with an ad blocker.
Yeah. And go to ledger.com, type it like ledger.com, download the original Ledger Live app, and if your device is tampered with, then it will not pass and you connect it to Ledger Live, and then it will go through a genuine check. If the device is genuine, then it will pass the check and then give you, and then you can keep using it. The device is safe. If it doesn't, then you'll know that there is some tampering done with your device, and then you have to just return it and then get a new one. So there's always ways, because the hardware and software, they like match each other, and then if there is something wrong with the hardware, the software Ledger Live will tell you that it's not a genuine device, and then you need to get it exchanged basically.
Mm-hmm.
Next is 77. Been using Ledger for over a month now, guys. Thank you for your work you do. Liking the new look, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you do.
Crypto Bat Fox is saying thank you, appreciate it. Yes,
Thanks
we'll get back to you for your case. Smiley Ego. What about the backup
That's
sheet?
the same question.
Okay.
That,
Sweet and Sour. Hello, I need your help. I sent some XRP to my exchange and did not put the destination tag. I waited and I did not receive my XRP. My exchange requires me to add a destination tag. Can I recover the XRP?
It's up to the exchange, unfortunately. Yeah.
So you can recover the funds are with your exchange. The tokens are being sent successfully. It's just that they're not able to locate, like they're not able to match your address because they have like thousands of addresses in there, and then have to manage everything. So it's that their funds are there, but they don't know to which account to put, and that's why you need the destination tag basically when you're sending XRP or XLM. Now, thing is, you cannot add a destination tag to a transaction that has already been sent. What you can do is take the transaction ID and take the address, prove to the exchange that this address belongs to you, and you have sent the funds to this address, and with this is a transaction ID. They should be able to locate your funds with that transaction ID because transaction IDs are unique, they are not same. So they can definitely locate your funds and then they can send it to your account basically, which they are holding for now.
Yeah, and keep in mind that some exchange have like an automated system to deal with those cases. Like I think Binance has like a portal where you can fill in the information. Some exchanges have been known in the past of, taking a small fee to recover your funds, because of course, typically what happens, they have to send some engineer with just into the vault or whatever they use to mess up with the private keys, the exchange wallet, and extract your fund from there. So it consumes some engineering time on the exchange as well. So sometimes they will charge you a fee for that service, which sucks. But maybe Prince, we can go over like the steps for the
Transaction ID.
Yeah, the memo tag and stuff.
Yeah.
So can you?
So you can just go to click on send. Select select the account, the XRP account. Yeah. Click on send. You need an address which you need to.
Oh yeah, and here's the tag, right?
And then that's the tag. It shows optional, but it's only optional when you're sending it to a single address, individual address, which is maybe your friend or you're sending it to someone. But if you're sending it to an exchange which has like a lot of addresses, that time you'll need to add a tag to match your address. Then the funds can be sent correctly to your address on exchange. So please do not forget it for XRP, XLM. I think HBAR also. I don't know.
Yeah, Cosmos. I think sometimes they will require.
Lin KC. I don't have a desktop. Setting up Hedera account. It has no option like as if we want to set up with Bitcoin and Bitcoin One, but with Hedera it is empty. So Lin, Hedera is a different blockchain than Bitcoin. They have their own protocols. They have their own
way to onboard.
Onboarding. Yeah, they have so basically they do not, the Ledger XRP. The HBAR community basically does not allow us to have their onboarding service. It's only applicable for a few wallets. You can do one thing. I think Yamgo. I think there's an app, third-party app for Hedera, and they do support mobile. So maybe you can create your Hedera account with your mobile with Yamgo, and then you can import the same account in Ledger Live. And if not, then you'll need to connect your Ledger device to desktop and then add an account in that. Because that's how the protocol of the Hedera works, and it's not something that is on us. It's how the community has designed the blockchain basically. Checkmate 1, is NanoX vulnerable to any EMP attack?
I had to double check what EMP meant because I forgot. But yes, of course the device can die if it's subject to an EMP attack. I think there are ways to. I mean, first of all, like not everybody is gonna. I mean, when was the last time we were targeted with an EMP attack? It's not something that's trivial, right? The second thing to keep in mind is like even if the device dies, okay, in any way, right, EMP attack or fire or it gets eaten by a dog or whatever, it doesn't really matter because what's important is not the device, but it's actually the recovery phrase, right? As long as you still have your recovery phrase, which is your private keys, then you can get a new device and then type your recovery phrase into the new device to access your funds. So it doesn't matter if your device dies, you just get a new one. So no worries, you're safe against EMPs, solar flares, natural disaster, it's all good.
Next is Piotr is saying thank you, and there is a continuation. Yes, if you have any questions regarding recovery, you can definitely ask us. We are going to be here every week. So yeah, bring on the questions and we are here to answer them. Creation is Metal is saying thank you. You're welcome. Michael Cullen, I sent Tenet to my ledger, but sent it to 10 instead, using my ledger Ethereum address. Is it recoverable? So it seems that you have sent your Tenet token, but via Tenet network to your Ethereum address, and in that case, there might not be a way to recover your tokens. If there is a way, then you will have to reach out to Tenet community, and you have to reach out to them and ask them if there is an option to recover the funds sent to Ethereum address, which I don't think is possible, because if there is a different blockchain, then funds sent to that blockchain will be lost, and funds from this blockchain will also be lost. So you won't get your funds basically, and that's why you're not seeing your funds. But yeah, for now we cannot. Like it's not recoverable directly. Maybe there is a workaround that the coin community might have be aware of. So please reach out to the coin community. For example, in your case, it's Tenet. So please reach out to Tenet, and then they should be able. They could help you if there is a workaround.
There might be a way to get through it via MetaMask connected to your ledger. For example, if Tenet is like a EVM blockchain that uses the same address types as Ethereum, then maybe there is a way. But if not, if it's a completely random chain, then it looks like it's an EVM chain. So there might be a way. But
kind of, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 0x addresses.
But there are different addresses as well. So
yeah, as Preach said, reach out to their community. They probably have some, or to us, right? You can drop a ticket. There is a link in the description.
CD is asking when other assets will be supported in Kiln, as only Ethereum is available now.
Well, I mean, Kiln is mainly an Ethereum validator. I know well, actually, that's not true. So if you go to the Kiln app, that app only shows like Ethereum staking, right? But if you try to stake Polkadot, for example, then Kiln is also a validator on Polkadot, so you can also select them if you want when you stake your dots. And
they do support a lot of.
Yeah, they support a lot of chains. Yeah, but for now it's Ethereum only. But maybe in the future,
we can escalate the feedback, of course. So. But then, of course, this is not only maintained on our side; it's from both Kiln and our devs work together on it. So we can ask them to if there's an option to add more staking protocols inside Kiln. And thanks for using Ledger Live and Kiln as well. Next is Checkmate. There is CD Espa. Okay, yeah. Checkmate 1. What is the life expectancy of a Nano X device?
It depends on how you use it. All right, it's difficult to say. There is a warranty on your device that expires after 2 years. So if your device, the hardware has any issue within 2 years, then we'll replace it. After that, it's best to just take care of your device like you would like a phone, right? So just don't do anything crazy about it.
Yeah, I think we can also make it clear that like any other electronic device, it's possible. It's like Nano X is the same kind of device, so it's possible that it can die after a certain period of time. But you can still use it with your USB cable, and then it will still work as a normal device. You just won't get the Bluetooth and the battery function. But it's just like a normal device. So after a few years, it can go down, and then you still have a warranty of 2 years. So if your device faces some hardware issues or some kind of issue, then you can reach out to us, and then you can explain. You don't even have to reach out to us. There is a My Order page where you can directly log in with your email ID and your order reference number, and you can go for replacement, and then you can be replaced if you're still in the warranty period. Next is Timothy. Is memo absolutely required with certain tokens?
Yes, the answer is yes. I mean, your coins will not be lost, but as Prinjo was describing, if you send, for example, so XRP, XLM, Atom, what else did you say? There's a bunch of them. HBAR, yeah. So if you send those coins to an exchange and the exchange requires a memo, then they won't be able to credit your coins because they won't be able to associate that transaction to your accounts because all the funds go into the same account, right? So yes, it's better to always use memo. But if you send something like Bitcoin, for example, or Ethereum, then there is no memo. If there is a memo that's required, usually it's pretty obvious in Ledger Live. Except if you're using mobile. Because on mobile, the memo field is actually not very easy to find.
Yeah, but I think it's like because of the UX. But then maybe we are working on improving it, so in future version it can be easier to find. The next is Lynn KC. Thank you guys for all the questions, by the way. So next is Leonardo. Okay, thank you for the issue with discrete mode. I must have clicked that by accident. Haha.
No worries.
Yes, we do it sometimes as well, so it's not a thing. Lynn Casey is saying, why are people asking of open source? Most of you can't even read the code. Ledger is completely secure, and the XRP hack was definitely 100% her problem in her end. Thank you for your support, Lynn. But we feel bad for the victim, of course, because we're not happy that she has lost her funds. But most often, since like I think 100% of the cases, it's either it's 24 hours has been exposed, or the device was preceded and then the user didn't know that, and they didn't set it up again with their own seed phrase, not their own, but by themselves. And that could be the case here. And then as she bought it from a third party, it could be supply chain attack, as Dan said. So there could be multiple things going on, but there's no proof of a Ledger device being hacked ever until now.
Never happened.
It's never happened. And if it has happened, like no one has come out and told us about it. So you guys don't have to worry, guys. It's a human error basically, and of course because technology doesn't lie here and everything is open, it's been secure for a long time. So next is Timothy. He's saying to Lynn Casey, you are correct. Thanks, guys. Welcome.
Thanks, Tim.
Just me. When will people be able to swap XLM for XRP?
I think you can already do it.
Yeah. You can already go to Ledger Live and click on the swap button.
Yeah.
And you can select the trading pair that you would like to swap, and you will be able to swap your assets.
Yeah, XLM. I don't think I've got an XLM account, but it should be in there.
You try with XRP and then put XLM on the top.
Okay. XRP. I think I've always had this issue with it doesn't register my keys for some reason, and XLM.
So guys, it's not Ledger Live, it's Dan's computer.
It's totally on me.
So you can see just me as this trading pair is supported, and you can swap your assets for, and then you'll need some minimum amount, of course. But if you don't want to do it via Ledger Live, you can send it your funds to an exchange and swap it from there. You can also go to Discover tab and maybe go to ThorSwap and see if they support this trading pair.
I don't think so. I think it's just Binance. Bitcoin and Atom to something else.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you can just go to Swap tab and click on the trading pair you want to select, and then you'll be able to go through.
Okay. 4 more minutes, guys, because I've got a hard stop at very soon.
That's a Russian name. Also, it's a Nikobit. Hello there. Thank you for such an extraordinary help. Here comes the one more request. There are so many 2FA apps these days such as Fido, U2F, Hello Security. They lack help. So I think we are working on the Fido U2F. I think there was an issue with U2F, but it has been solved now. So if you're facing any particular issue, then you can let us know, Nikobit. And we are also working on improving it and updating it with the new. I think that's Fido 2 that is going to come now, and I think we're going to working on it as well, because that is going to be very important in future in security, like having a 2FA. Enrique has a question for Dan. I received a message from Stephanie last week and could deliver yesterday my ledger for shipment. Very appreciate for your help and your support, guys. Regards from Peru. Okay,
you're welcome. We'll pass the message to Stephanie.
To Stephanie, yes. Piotr, is it possible to create 2 or 3 temporary passphrases? I know there can be only one attached to the pin code.
As many as you want, but as you said, there can only be one at any time inside the device memory. So that's something to keep in mind. But you can keep rolling them; they don't disappear, right?
Yep. So Lynn is also answering the question. Yes, Lynn, you are kind of correct, but then you can have multiple seed phrases, but the device will only be able to keep one at a time. There are a lot
of questions, guys. Will be so we have to stop the stream in about 2 minutes, but we will be back
Thursday,
the 2 of us, and then the US team will have a session tomorrow as well at. I can never know. Like
they have we have a weekly schedule on our website. You can just go to Help Center and type AMA, and then you will see the timings for different.
But there is a stream every single day, right? Monday to Friday.
Next is Tyson. When will you bring back the Discover filters? Because I hate having the page full of stuff. I'm not even going to use Ledger. We are working. I think there's some issue with the filter, and then we are trying to fix it. And once it is fixed, it's going to be deployed again. So don't worry. It's going to be coming soon. Next is creation is metal. Can passphrase be set up after Nano has been set up, or it can be only done during the setup?
It has to be set up after the Nano has been set up.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't do it the other way.
But make sure, if you set it up after the recovery phrase, you'll have to add new accounts once you unlock your pin, one device with the passphrase pin, and then old accounts will be only accessible with the recovery phrase pin, and the new accounts will be accessible with the passphrase pin. And make sure to transfer your assets from the old pin to the new, old accounts to recovery phrase to the passphrase accounts, and then they'll be secured completely. You will not be able to add passphrase on the existing recovery phrase accounts. Basically, you'll get access to new set of accounts if you set up a passphrase.
Check. There is a video on this YouTube channel that explains like how to set up a passphrase, how to recover passphrase accounts, and you just go on the search bar on this channel and type secret, and you'll find the video. It's called How to Create Secret Account with a Passphrase.
Okay, Leonardo, I think Pietro is replying to Lynn. And
yeah, there's a whole conversation going on.
Leonardo
here.
is saying, no, not staking. I just bought them, but I think the Ledger Life can't detect transaction. And the balance, it shows like I just bought the coins.
So I think it's because like Binance or whatever exchange you're using is using like particular type of transaction that Ledger Life cannot detect. So that's why you see the correct balance, but you cannot see the transaction itself in the transaction history. But if you want to see that transaction, you can just go on for Polkadot, for example, you go on Subscan, you put your address in Subscan, and you'll see the transaction. It's just Ledger Live is not able to detect those transactions.
Next is Leonardo in Polkadot and Cosmos account. There's no transaction at the bottom where it says latest transaction. Yeah, so I think it's the
allowed
keep alive and some kind of transaction are different, and that's why they're not being.
Last question, guys, because I really have to go.
Jason, will I be able to use Ledger to add my XTC anytime soon? If not, why? XTC you can already manage with your Ledger device. You have to connect it to the Zinfin wallet, and you can create a Ledger XTC address and manage your funds. Native Ledger Live support for XTC is not on the roadmap until now, and if it's going to be, we'll definitely let the community know. But for now, there's no plans to have it inside Ledger Live. Unfortunately, you have to use a third-party app with your Ledger device. Lim Casey, thanks for answering the questions, and we'll keep on occurring only happens once. I want to need seed as I set my main online test if it would work. That question is...
it's not very clear. Yep. But Lynn, you know, if you have questions about passphrases, like just read the article in the Help Center. There's a link to the Help Center in the description. Watch the video as well. And then if you still have questions, come back to the stream on Thursday or the one on tomorrow as well, and just type your question, and we might have more time. We're sorry because we have to go right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just take your time to read the articles and watch the video, and yeah, you should be good.
Okay, so next is Leonardo. Even on CVS, it's not coming. So if you want the transaction history, basically you can just paste your address on the Blockchain Explorer, and then there will be an option to export the transaction history from there, and then you'll get all the transactions. Don't worry. So you can always use a third-party workaround.
All right, guys, we might have to go.
Okay, then this is the last. I will think. When will Ledger have staking for Cardano? So. That is on the roadmap, of course, and then if it's going to be launched soon, we'll definitely let the community know, and it should be coming like once in this year, I feel.
Yep. All right, guys.
And with this, we come to an end, guys. We know there are a few questions that we are not able to pick up, and this happens every time. But we'll come. Our team will come back on Thursday. I think it's going to be us who's going to coming back on Thursday. So we'll start from these questions. If you have these questions, just copy and paste them there, and then we'll start from where we left off today. And on this note, please guys, not share 24-word seed phrase. Ledger devices are not hacked. Recover does not give us any backdoor or extraction of seed phrase. And anyone asking for a 24-word seed phrase is an impersonator, it's a scammer. Do not interact with any scam NFTs, airdrops. And there is no Ledger stacks giveaway happening, so please be safe from that. And do not sign anything if you're not sure, because the underlying smart contract can be malicious and you can still lose your sets. So there are a lot of ways you can still lose your sets, but if you use your device correctly, no one can steal your sets basically. And
setting the record straight.
Yes. So these are the tips and tricks that we see every day, and yeah, please do not share 24 words, and that's the main thing that you need to safeguard.
All right.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
No, see you on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care, guys.